the forgotten warrior of Sparta. Long ago, in the fierce and disciplined city-state of Sparta, where warriors were trained from birth and honor meant everything, there lived a young soldier named Lysander. Unlike many of his peers who came from noble families, Lysander was of humble birth. He had no famous ancestors or grand wealth to his name. Yet, from a young age, he had shown extraordinary courage and skill, rising quickly through the ranks of the Spartan army. At the age of 7, like all Spartan boys, Lysander had been sent to the agoge, the harsh training camp where boys were molded into warriors. There he endured the grueling trials designed to toughen both body and spirit. His days were filled with relentless training, hunger, and hardship, but while others faltered or complained, Lysander never wavered. His eyes were always fixed on a singular goal: to bring honor to his city and to his family, no matter what it took. As he grew older, Lysander's name became known among his fellow Spartans. In battle, he fought with a fierceness that was unmatched, yet he never sought glory for himself. It was said that his shield never left his hand, for he believed in the Spartan code, "Come back with your shield or on it." In other words, victory or death, there was no room for cowardice. Then came the day of his greatest test. The Persian Empire, led by its king Xerxes, sought to conquer all of Greece. The threat was enormous, and the Spartan king Leonidas called upon his bravest soldiers to join him in a stand against the Persians at the narrow pass of Thermopylae. Lysander, now a young warrior in his prime, was among those chosen. As they marched to Thermopylae, Lysander felt both pride and fear. He knew the Persians numbered in the hundreds of thousands, while the Spartan force was small, a mere 300 men, supported by a few other Greek allies. The odds were impossible, yet every Spartan, including Lysander, was prepared to fight to the death. They understood that their sacrifice would become a symbol of resistance for all of Greece. For 3 days, the Spartans held off wave after wave of Persian attacks. Their phalanx formation, shields locked tightly together, proved nearly impenetrable. Lysander fought side by side with his comrades, his spear flashing in the sun as he struck down enemy after enemy. His heart surged with the pride of defending his homeland, and he felt invincible. But on the 3rd day, tragedy struck. A Greek traitor showed the Persians a secret path that would allow them to surround the Spartans. King Leonidas knew that their position was hopeless. He dismissed most of the Greek forces, but the Spartans, true to their code, would not retreat. They would fight to the last man. As the Persians closed in from all sides, Lysander fought with the fury of a man who knew his time was short. He saw his fellow Spartans fall one by one, but there was no fear in their eyes, only determination. They fought not for themselves, but for Sparta, for Greece, and for the freedom of future generations. Finally, after hours of battle, Lysander was struck down. His body, like those of his comrades, lay on the battlefield at Thermopylae, but his spirit lived on in the legend of the 300. The sacrifice of Lysander and his fellow Spartans inspired all of Greece to unite against the Persians, and eventually they drove the invaders out. Though Lysander's name was not written in the grand histories like King Leonidas or the famous generals of Sparta, his courage and loyalty were no less important. He was one of the many nameless warriors whose bravery and sacrifice shaped the future of Greece. Centuries later, when travelers pass through the narrow pass of Thermopylae, they still see the monument that stands in honor of the 300 Spartans. And though Lysander's name may not be carved in stone, his story lives on in the hearts of those who remember that freedom is never won without sacrifice.